2024 Rock and Roll Nashville. We are talking about the half marathon here. So this is going to be on April 27th slash 28th. A couple of things before we get into the nitty gritty. First off, if you hit this race week button here, there's nothing listed. So we're going to be operating on limited information for 3 weeks out here. Scrolling around the website, I have clicked over on participants, and we do have a race week schedule finally up here. Thursday the 25th, that event expo is open 12 to 7 Music City Center. Friday the 26th, 10 to 7, that's that health and fitness expo. And then Saturday the 27th is race day for our half marathon racers. That start is at 7:20 a.m. at 8th and Broadway. You can read about the other stuff afterwards. This is the Health and Fitness Expo. It lists our 2 dates that we just talked about here. And scrolling down, you can find some other cool info. Flying over to the course here. So our course overview, again, limited information, but this is all we got. I am assuming they're in contact with everybody else for specific nitty-gritty step-by-steps up on race day. But from what we have here, our start time is 7:20 a.m. And the start line is at 8th and Broadway. That is for the full and the half as well. So if you click over on the full, it will be the exact same thing there for that start location. Scrolling down here, the eagle-eyed viewers of you will notice a couple of different things here than a traditional race plan from what we do. The first one is this green one. This is the BioFreeze activation zone. You scroll down here, and it's just BioFreeze, and they'll spray it on you, rub it on you. It's pretty cool stuff. That is located right here at mile 10, maybe a little bit afterwards. Second thing that you will notice is that there's no Gatorade anymore. There's just water and Mortal Hydration. So popping over to the feed to check out some packets of the Mortal Hydration. This is what is in one packet of Mortal. It might be slightly different based off of the flavoring, but what is consistent is the calories, and that is not a lot. And again, I don't know if they're going to put a whole sleeve of this stuff in each individual cup. I would assume they're going to split it so they can get a little bit more into every cup, and the cup is not going to be filled up to the normal way you drink a cup. So with that, a couple of different things here. First off, we're just going to pretend that they're going to put one packet per cup, and this is something that you can ask at the expo because this is something you're going to need to know on race day. Let's assume they're just doing one in a cup. So that's giving you 40 calories. That's giving you about 10 grams of carbohydrates. No protein in there, a little bit of calcium, a little bit of potassium, and that is pretty much it in there. So what this is it's an electrolyte drink with some slight calories, pretty much. And let's say they split that, you're going to have 20 calories-ish, right? And then our sodium is going to be split in half as well, so that's 230 milligrams, and that carb's going to drop down to 5 grams. So what that means for you is just because you are drinking this stuff, don't get it tricked. Don't trick yourself, rather, that you are getting extra calories in and you're getting a lot of extra stuff in. Because if they do split it, it's not going to be what you think it is. Well, with that, it creates some fueling challenges for us on race day. So if you are the type of individual that doesn't like to carry anything, this switch over to Mortal Hydration is affecting marathons, it's affecting triathlons, full halves, everything in between, because everyone's switching over. All right, but what that means is you're largely going to have to carry some of your calories in the form of gels or handhelds or things like that to get your calorie count up. And if you're only stopping, I'm stumbling over my words here, but if you are stopping at these aid stations to drink this Mortal Hydration, they have also said that this is only happening every other aid station. So backing up to our course here, I'm going to walk you through it really fast. Every other in my mind goes like this, and I'll tell you why. The first aid station right here, no. Then we're going to have some Mortal at this second aid station, no. Then yes, back down here, no, yes, no, and then this one is a yes. And the reason I tell you that one is the way it is because that aid station rests right here for that marathon. So hopefully they can hit that 2 times right there before they go and venture off and to do other things that we are not going to talk about. But that is at least my breakdown of where the Mortal Hydration stations are going to be. And again, when you are there for athlete check-in, make sure you're checking the course. Make sure if there's any other additional info you can get as much as you can in the day leading up to that race for Nashville. So that is, again, that's pretty much all of the main things that I have leading up to this race, believe it or not. And this is a little course profile that I have made for you here. And before we talk about that, let's talk about wind, and then we'll dive into the nitty gritty. So talking about Nashville, I lost it here. This is Nashville right here, and you can see that this is where our course is, and I'm just going to scroll through so you can see what direction the wind is typically going. We typically have a south to north wind, and occasionally a west to east wind over there. Ideally, what you want on race day is the first, not the latter. So you want a southerly wind pushing up and pushing you back home. You're going to fight it for the last mile or so, but I will take that because of the way the course is laid out. This is our course here. This is our course breakdown. About a 550 feet of elevation gain for us on race day. Not the worst thing in the world, and a couple of things you should know by attacking this. First off, our first little section here, we do start off with a little bit of a dip here. That might not be super accurate, but if it is a dip out there, make sure you're not overdoing it. Very common for athletes to, really fly in the first little part there. I am hoping that it's going to be kind of bottled up a little bit to just keep everyone under wraps right there. Expect a faster start, but if everyone's around, you can't really get overextended or kind of overdo it. So that is a good thing there, because our first impact section here lasts a couple of miles, and this is largely uphill right through here. It's scattered, it's up and down, it's undulating, but of our 550 feet, we do have 256 feet of elevation gain here with an average gradient of 1.5. What that means for you is you're going to be working for these first 3.5 miles, and it's going to be a trap. Okay. In a perfect world, if I zoom out here, you're going to want to arrive at the top here, right here. You're going to want to arrive at the top ready to rock and roll, because that is where your race really starts. You want to arrive at this point not throwing your race away, but you don't want to give too much away either for your competitors. It's going to be a fun little balance for you to play with out there on race day. Afterwards, we drop down, not like a stone, but just steadily out there on race day. From mile, let's call it 3.5 to about mile 5.4, we are dropping 131 feet there. 22 feet of gain, so again, it's still some in there, but your average gradient is almost -1 degree out there. So this is another opportunity for people to really overdo it, and this is a section where you do need to really fly. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And if I can get my cursor back, this is approaching the bottom of our course right here. So right when it starts to turn, right, this is going to be our point at mile 5.2, right? If the winds are coming from the south, hopefully they are pushing you back home, and you're going to be greeted by an uphill gradient, of course, right? So that's going to only help our cause if we do have a southerly wind out there on race day. So the next big section that we have for us, this is about a 2-mile section, and we have 145 feet of elevation gain in this 2-mile stretch here. And you can see that it is undulating. It's not really up. It's not really down. But in that section, this is going to be the time to kind of go here. This is the last real uphill sustained stretch before we drop down for, I think it's 4 miles. Yeah, 4 miles here, 77 feet of elevation gain. But again, almost a -1% fall or drop for you. That's going to really come in handy there. You don't have a choice here. You just have to go. You're going to arrive at about mile 10 and a half down here, and it's largely raced over in terms of elevation, except for this one little blip over here, and you're just climbing out around Capitol, or the state capitol down there. We do have a little out and back section right here that's going to be a little bit annoying to do. It might play a little bit of games with you, so just be mentally strong coming out of this little major zigzag section that we have over here. And it should be happy days crossing the bridge over there. And this last section, 121 feet of elevation gain. Before the race starts, I'm not 100% sure that this hill actually exists. But if it does, it does. It's a nice little end of race greet for you at the last mile. So let's talk about attacking this hill. Again, or not the hill, the race. We talked about the first little drop here. You don't want to overdo it. This one right here, you're going to be working, right? You're going to be battling the wind, theoretically. But you don't want to overdo it. You want to arrive at this top point here, ready to rock, ready to roll, pun intended. And then when you get to this downhill section, it's not all systems go. It's a controlled go. It's a fast go, but it's all an in controlled go. Watch your feet, watch your form. If you find yourself just really stretching out on the pavement, make sure you kind of reel it back in a little bit. Watch your forward lean, see what's going on there. This section right here, this is our first go section. You aren't totally unchained, but you do need to hold back slightly. This is the area where we are going to really start to claw people back in. This downhill section right here, this is all systems go pretty much if you've had a good day. This is mile 7, so we're over halfway through the race here, and this is going to be an awesome, awesome place for you to start catching some people. The people that have overdone it are going to start to cramp up. They're not going to feel great, and it's usually going to happen right around mile 9 right there, especially with these downhill things mixed in there. Again, you don't want to be one of those people that is cramping up, so watch how far you're extending out in front of you. Watch your running form. If you're running differently than you normally do, you need to correct that. All of that good stuff. This is the magic section right through here. This is going to be where you are clawing people back big time right through here, these last 2.5 miles, just because it's largely the flattest place on the race course. It's going to come at probably the best possible time right through there. This is where you are going to be approaching those zigzags, and it's going to feel like you're not really going anywhere because you're always going to be kind of near that state capital. But just get that out of your head. You know, that's going to be where the people are mixed in through there. And then when you cross the bridge, it's happy days after that. It's a pretty quick snap in after the bridge over here. So after you cross, you're going to come over and then you just do a zigzag once, and then you're up to the finish. So that is our 2024 Nashville Half Marathon for our Rock and Roll series. Good luck to everyone racing. If you have any questions, please reach out. I'll be happy to answer them. And good luck to everyone this